أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي اللهم لا سهلا إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. Welcome back to our Muslims Connected Conversational Arabic Level 1. Today is our second class. In the previous lesson, we completed the first dialogue of chapter 1. And the book we are doing, just to repeat, is called Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadayk, the curriculum taught in the Arab world to speakers of non-native speakers of the Arabic language. Inshallah, we're following more or less the same curriculum. Okay. Today, we'll be doing dialogue 3. So we did dialogue 1 in the previous lesson. Dialogue 2, I feel, should be done at a later stage. So we will do dialogue 3 first. Okay. In this lesson, we will learn the concept of indicating, how to indicate, how to say this. For example, this book, this pen, this man, this lady, this doctor, this student. We'll learn that concept in the Arabic language. We'll learn also 17 new Arabic words, Bismillah ta'ala. And we'll also speak about masculine and feminine words in the Arabic language. We had a brief introduction to this concept in the previous lesson. Inshallah, today we will take this concept full on. Okay, let's start with the new vocabulary. The first new word we're learning is هذا. هذا literally means this. To indicate to something this. Now you would see I added, I said this. In the bracket there, the M stands for male. Because in the Arabic language, just like we said, they always differentiate between, or most of the time, between masculine and feminine. So if you want to say, for example, you, in English, we just say, if we're speaking to a male, we'll say you. We're speaking to a female, we'd also say you. In the Arabic language, they differentiate. If you want to say you, and you are speaking to a male, you would say anta. And if you are speaking to a female, you would say anti. Anta and anti. Likewise, when we want to indicate, to say this, if we're indicating to a male, for example, a male doctor or a male friend or a brother or anything masculine, you would say هذا. However, if we're indicating to something feminine, we would use a different word, which we'll learn later on. Okay. The second word we're learning is called أخٌ. أخٌ is a brother. A brother. أخٌ, a brother. Okay, so now we want to integrate our knowledge of the previous lesson into today's lesson. So in the previous lesson, we learned the concept of saying my. We learned how to say your. Okay, so how do we say my brother? So here we have options here. Is it أخاك? Is it أخاكي? Is it أخي or is it أخٌ? So you can answer in the chat. Excellent. Okay, so that is unanimous. So, akhi would be my brother. So we add the E, the ya at the end. That's correct. Jazakumullah khair. Excellent. Okay. Excellent. Then we have the word sadiqun. Sadiqun means a friend. But specifically, it means a male friend. Right? So in the Arabic language, we're going to differentiate. We're going to see what is the feminine version of all these words later on. Sadiqun, sadiqun, a friend. Sadiqun, a friend. Okay, how would I say my friend? Right? Is it sadiquki, sadiqi, sadiquka, sadiqun, my friend? Again, mashallah, quite unanimous there. And that is the correct answer. It is sadiqi, right? My friend. Okay. Huwa means he, right? So you want to say, this is my brother. هذا أخي. Huwa, like I can say, he. Mudarrisun, for example. Mudarrisun means a teacher, specifically a male teacher. So we're learning all the masculine words over here. Mudarrisun, a male teacher. هذا أخي هو مدرس. This is my brother. He is a teacher. Or I could say هذا صديقي. This is my friend. He is a teacher. Okay. Muhandisun is an engineer. But specifically a male engineer. Muhandisun, a male engineer. Tabibun, tabibun, a male doctor, medical doctor, a male doctor. Tabibun. Talibun, talibun. So take note, do not confuse tabibun and talibun. Tabibun is a doctor. Talibun is a student, a male student specifically. Okay, let's look at the female version. So we said هذا is this. So we'd say هذا أخ, هذا صديق, هذا مدرس, هذا مهندس, and so on. Okay, هذه also means this, but specifically if you are indicating to something or someone feminine. هذه. For example, the word sister is أختٌ. أختٌ is a sister. So I cannot say هذا أختٌ, this is a sister. I have to say هذه أختٌ. It has to match. So the indicating word must match with the thing that you're indicating to. Must match in terms of gender. أختٌ, a sister. Okay. How would I say my sister? Is it أخي, أختك, أختي, أختك? Excellent. Alhamdulillah, we're all on the same page, quite unanimous over there. Correct. أختي, my sister. Okay. صديقة. So this is where we also want to take note of the word صديقة. So now we're starting to see how words become feminine. So we look at the word صديق, a male friend. What happened to the word when we said صديقة? So the change is important. The first thing, and I'm going to show you over here, you'd see that the last letter got a fatha. And we see over here, صديق became صديقة. And then we added a ta at the end, a closed ta. And with the tanween there, right? صديق became صديقة, a female friend. Okay, how would I say my female friend? Take note that صديق became صديقي. However, صديقة, it now has an extra letter, a letter ta. So that also have to be in there. Say my female friend. So which one is it? Is it صديقتك? Is it صديقي? صديقك? Is it صديقتي? Very well done. Unanimous over there. So I'm going to need all of you to focus in this lesson, because this lesson is going to get quite challenging at the end, right? So we just have to focus right throughout. This is very the basic things that we have to just remember. Okay, very well done. Quite unanimous over there. The correct answer is D, صديقتي. Note the difference between صديقي, صديقتي. Okay, okay. هو, the female version is هي, she. So I would say هذه أختي. This is my sister. هي مدرسة. In the same way that صديق became صديقة, similarly Mudarrisun became mudarrisatun. Mudarrisatun, a female teacher. Right? So I cannot say هذا أخي, this is my brother, هو مدرسة. I would be saying this is my brother, he is a female teacher, right? That wouldn't make sense. And I cannot say هذه أختي هي مدرس. This is my sister, she is a male teacher. That also wouldn't make sense, right? So there have to be that agreement. Okay, muhandisun, muhandisatun. طبيب, طبيبة, female doctor. طالب, طالبة. The final phrase we're learning here is مع السلامة. مع السلامة means goodbye. Literally means go with safety, but we can translate it as goodbye. Okay, excellent. What I want to do is, before we do, we're going to do a lot of exercises, just like the previous lesson. Some things that we really need to master. But before that, we just need some volunteers, just one or two, just to read, just to ensure that we understand the words in context. If you don't like to volunteer, right, so you can just raise your hand. I'll just unmute you. No one would see your name or anything. It's just if you wouldn't want that, you can just raise your hand. I'll just unmute you and you can just go ahead. We will really appreciate. So the one who volunteers, obviously you doing us a favor. So there's no pressure. Okay. We just need two. Jazakallah khair. I believe we have one. Okay, we have two. We have three. Excellent. Okay. Let's have Sister Mahdiya and Sister Anisa. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, Sister Mahdiya, right? Okay, since we have two females, I think we can do this one over here. Okay, so Sister Mahdiya, you can you can be Nada. Sister Anisa, you can be Huda. What I want you to do is, I want you to read the phrase in Arabic and then translate it. So, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, like that. Okay, you may begin.
Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you.
Wa alaikum assalam and peace be on you.
هذه أختي, so that would be, this is my sister. هي طبيبة,
Yes.
which would be, she is a doctor.
Yes.
Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome.
هذه صديقتي, this is my friend. هي طالبة, she is a student. I'm not sure. Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, so that will be another person. I'll be that person. Ahlan wa sahlan. Okay.
مع السلامة. So I'm saying goodbye, or with
Yes.
safety, like farewell.
Yes. Goodbye.
Ma'a salama, goodbye.
Yes. So, sir, Anisa, I just have one question for you, because you had the easy sentences. Let's go with the word talibun, talibatun. It means a female student. How would I say a male student?
Talibun.
And tabibatun, how would I say a male doctor?
Tabibun.
Okay, excellent. Jazakillahi khair. Well done.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. Shukran. Okay, we have another person. Can we have another volunteer? One more. Assalamu alaikum. Is a sister or brother salam? Okay. Can we have perhaps two males? That would be helpful. Okay, if there isn't, I'm gonna select. How about Abdul Sattar? Do you mind joining us? So someone asks a question, what do we respond to? Jazakallahu khair. And you can just say, wa jazakallahu khair. You just say the same thing back, but you add a wa. Or you can say, wa iyyak. Wa iyyak. It means, and you too. Okay. We just need one volunteer at least, one male volunteer. Okay, if no volunteers, it's fine. I do understand. Okay, so I'll just read and I'll translate it. Okay, so Ahmed says, Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you. And Badr says, Wa alaikum assalam, and peace be upon you. Ahmed says, Hada akhi, this is my brother. Huwa mudarrisun, he is a teacher. Badr says, Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Ahmed says, Hada Sadiqi. This is my friend. Huwa muhandisun. He is an engineer. The brother says, Ahlan wa sahlan. Then they say, Ma'as-salama. Goodbye. Ma'as-salama. Goodbye. Okay. The phrase Ahlan wa sahlan wasn't in the vocabulary list. It should have been there. Ahlan wa sahlan literally means, we can translate it in meaning as welcome. But what this phrase, where it comes from, right, it actually means as family and with ease. As family and with ease. So because this is an ancient phrase, you said, of the Arabs, and the Arabs really live in the desert. So when they used to visit each other, if they come to a new place, to a new people, or you go visit a family or a friend, and they tell you this because, you know, the desert life is very harsh. So when you come to a place and someone wants to welcome you, they tell you you have found family and you have come to a place of ease. You won't experience any more difficulty and you can relax. So that is basically the understanding of that phrase. Ahlan wa sahlan, but we translate it as welcome. Okay. Let's move on to speaking about the concepts. Okay, the first concept that we want to just revise is the concept of masculine and feminine. So you said we look at the masculine word sadiqun, a friend. The feminine version of that word is sadiqatun, a female friend. So you just want to take note of what happened over there. Okay, so generally the last letter got a fatha, and we added a ta at the end. Right? That's called a feminine ta. Sadiqatun. Tabibun, tabibatun. Mudarrisun, mudarrisatun. Talibun, talibatun. Okay. So the first sign that a word is feminine is that it ends with a ta. Right, so that's called a feminine ta. It ends with a ta. That's the primary sign that the word is feminine. However, sometimes a word can be feminine and it won't have the ta at the end. For example, if you look at the masculine word Muhammad, it's a name, the masculine name. But then we have the word, for example, Kawthar. So now Kawthar, in the Arab world, sometimes they use the word Kawthar to name boys. However, generally in the rest of the world, Kawthar is a feminine name. So Kawthar does not have a ta at the end, a closed ta. However, it is still a feminine word. So sometimes we'll go to the second principle, and that is to look at the meaning of the word to determine if the word is masculine or feminine. Okay, so this is on a basic level. Okay, let's do some exercises to reinforce the new vocabulary. Okay, so quickly, let's do here. Tabibun. Is it an engineer, female engineer? Is it a female doctor? Is it a male friend? Is it a male doctor? Tabibun. Excellent, that's correct. Muhandisun. Here we go. Sorry, muhandisatun. Muhandisatun. Is it a female engineer? Is it a female friend? Is it a female student? Is it a male doctor? Okay, so I think we're unanimous over there. It's a female engineer. How about the word talibatun? Is it a male doctor? Is it a female friend? Is it a female student, or is it a male student? Unanimous over there. Excellent. Okay, how about the word sadiqun? The word sadiqun. It's a male friend, that's correct. Quite unanimous. Right. How about a student? Right, so I got the answer there out by mistake. And I'm sure most of you didn't see that. It's a male student. Is that talibatun, muhandisun, talibun, tabibun? That's C, that is correct. Okay, how about mudarrisatun? Mudarrisatun. Is that a female engineer? Is it a female friend? A female teacher? So we're getting some mixed answers here. Right? Some mixed answers there. So those who are saying it's an engineer, you want to have another look. Those who say it's a friend, have another look. Mudarrisatun. That's correct. Majority on female teacher. Okay. A male engineer. Is it tabibun or is it muhandisun? Or muhandisatun? That's correct. Muhandisun. Okay. The word he. Is it anta? Is it hiya? Is it hadihi? Is it huwa? Excellent. Okay. How about a female doctor? Is it tabibun, muhandisun, muhandisatun, tabibatun? Quite unanimous over there. Excellent. Okay. How about, here is the word this. Is it hada? Is it hiya? Is it hadihi? Is it huwa? This female specifically. Yeah, so some of you are getting confused over there. Right? Remember in Arabic difference between indicating to a male and a female. So hada and hadihi. So which one is this female? Okay, the majority got it right. It is hadihi. Hadihi. Okay, and she, how about she? Is it hadihi? Is it huwa? Is it hiya? Is it anti? Excellent. Okay, the last one for this exercise is that hada. Hada, is this him? Is it this female? Is it that male? Is it this male? Now, so those who are falling for C, right, we got you over there. Okay, generally good, right? So for exercise 1, I think generally most of you got 100%. Some of you at least got 90%. Excellent. Let's look at this one. Now, this is where it becomes, right, it's going to become important. What is the importance, right, of knowing sometimes whether the word is masculine or feminine, right? Because when we indicate هذا or هذه, هذا or هذه, We have to look. If you have this word صديق, for example, a friend, a male friend, and I want to say this is a male friend, or this is a friend, this is a male friend, would I say هذا or would I say هذه? Obviously, I would say هذا. And صديقة, a female friend, I would say هذه. Similarly, طبيب, I would say هذا طبيب. And طبيبة, I would say هذه طبيبة. They have to agree. هذا مدرس, هذه مدرسة. هذا طالب, هذه طالبة. هذا أخ and هذه أخت. Now, extremely important to know. Because in Arabic, right, in any language, remember that we learned the concept of your. And you know, that is the ka or the ki at the end of a word. The ka or the ki at the end of a word. Now that ka or ki, remember if we are speaking to a male, we're going to say ka at the end. Ismuka, sadiquka, sadiqatuka. However, if we're speaking to a female, it's going to be a ki at the end. Ismuki, haluki, sadiquki, sadiqatuki. This ka or ki at the end of a word has zero effect on whether we say هذا or هذه. The word هذا or هذه depends on the word we are indicating to. For example, if I say, this is your friend, this is your friend, I am pointing to the friend. So if the friend is masculine, I say, هذا صديقك. If the friend is feminine, I say, هذه صديقتك. Okay, challenging, I know it's challenging. But with the exercises that we're going to do now, it's going to clarify. Okay. Firstly, let's look at the masculine and feminine words. What I want to do, I want you to tell me, when we see the word tabibun, right? So, for example, this is a masculine word, a male doctor. Should I say هذا tabibun or هذه tabibun? Right? Obviously, I would say هذا tabibun. Okay, so this is an example of this exercise. So let's go with the first question. طبيبة. Would I say هذا أو هذه? هذا طبيبة أو هذه طبيبة? Remember, طبيبة is a feminine word. So we have to use the feminine word of indication. Either هذا or هذه. Correct. Right, so that's unanimous. For those who said A, you want to have a relook because هذا means this for masculine thing, whereas هذه is for the feminine, so that's correct. هذه طبيبة. Okay. مهندس هذا أو هذه? Correct. هذا مهندس. Okay. طالب, is that هذا أو هذه? That's correct. هذا طالب because the masculine word. Okay. How about أخت? The word أخت means a sister. Is it هذا أو هذه? That's correct. Okay. طالبة. Is it هذا أو هذه? That's correct. صديق. Is it هذا or is it هذه? صديق. For those who said B, right? So you have to look. هذه is to indicate something feminine. And the word صديق doesn't have a ta at the end, so it cannot be feminine. So it's هذا, correct, as you all said. صديقة. Is it هذا or هذه? صديقة is a female friend. Unanimous over there. أخ أخ هذا أخ وهذه أخ هذا أخ. That's correct. Okay. مهندسة. مهندسة is a female engineer. Is it هذا مهندس مهندسة or هذه مهندسة? Excellent. I think you guys are getting it now. مدرسة مدرسة, a female teacher. Is it هذا or هذه? Correct. مدرس, last one of this section. Is it هذا or هذه? Excellent. Okay. Now let's turn it up a level. Let's turn it up a level. Have a look at this word over here, صديق. So we know this would be هذا صديق, right? Because the word صديق is a masculine word. Okay. How about the word صديقي? So now we added something at the end of the word, the E, to say my friend. But at the end of the day, the word صديق is still a masculine word. So it is still going to be هذا. Correct. Okay. What about this word over here? This word over here, صديقك. I am speaking to a male and I'm telling him, your male friend. Is it هذا or is it هذه? Okay, that's correct. It's هذا because the word صديق is masculine. What about if we have this instance over here? صديقك. Let's see. What do you say? Is it هذا صديقك or is it هذه صديقك? Right, so yeah, for the first time we're having mixed answers. So this is good. So I want you to think about this. We are indicating to the friend. The ka and the ki at the end of the word is just tell us who we are speaking to. That has nothing to do with هذا or هذه. When we use هذا or هذه, we look at the word that we are pointing to. That's the first word, صديق. Is that a masculine word or is it a feminine word? If it's a masculine word, we say هذا. If it's a feminine word, we say هذه. And we don't look at the end of the word. Now, even though ki tells that we're speaking to a female, but we don't say هذه just because of the ki. We look at the first word. So based on that, is it هذا صديقك or هذه صديقك? Let's see. You can answer from now. Excellent. So now we're seeing a uniform answer. Correct. That's a good sign. Okay. Let's look at another example. صديقة. This word is a feminine word. So we're going to indicate to this word. So obviously this is going to be هذه صديقة. We mastered this in the previous exercise. Right? In the previous exercise, we mastered this. Okay. How about this word صديقتي? So in this case, it's obviously still going to be هذه صديقتي. Nothing's going to change over there. It's fairly straightforward. Okay. But this is where it gets a bit tricky. صديقتك. Right? So we take the word صديقتك. So even though the ka at the end indicates that we are speaking to a male, but we don't care about that because we are indicating to the friend. And صديقة is a female friend. So it was صديقة. We add the ka, it becomes صديقتك. And so you rightly said it's هذه صديقتك. And صديقتك. So is it هذا or هذه? صديقتك. So do you see that in look at this, right? So let's have a look at this. All correct. Correct. If you look at this over here, in the first instance, صديق. No matter what we added at the end, صديقي, صديقك, صديقك, it remained هذا because we are still indicating to the same masculine thing. Likewise, صديقة, whether it was صديقتي, صديقتك, صديقتك, and like we're going to learn still later on how to say his friend and her friend and their friend, it will always remain هذه because the word that we're pointing to, صديقة, is feminine. Excellent. So, okay, so here's one for you. New word, طبيب. Obviously, this is هذا طبيب. Fine. طبيبي. Is it هذا or هذه? طبيبي. Right, I'm going to run quickly through this. Correct. هذا طبيبي. Right, so those said هذه. The word طبيب is a male doctor. طبيبك. Is it هذا or هذه طبيبك? Right, it's still هذا. And what about طبيبك? Is it هذا or هذه طبيبك? Correct. هذا. Okay, now we are getting to the challenge. So this is, to be honest, this is actually quite advanced. Many students really struggle with this exercise. It's just going to be application of what we have just learned. So I think we'll all do very well, inshallah. Okay, first question. مدرسك. Is it هذا or هذه? مدرسك. Take note of what we said, that we're looking at the word that we are indicating to, not who we are speaking to. Is it هذا مدرسك? Is this your male teacher? I'm talking to a female. I'm asking my my daughter, for example, at the school. Shall she meet her teacher, Mr. Yasin Solomon? So I ask my daughter, is this your teacher? See, I'm talking to my daughter. She's a female, but the teacher is a male. Correct. هذا مدرسك. How about طبيبتك? Is it هذا أو هذه? طبيبتك. Is it هذا أو هذه? For those who are saying A, I want you to look at the word طبيبة. Because we have طبيب, طبيبة. Yeah, there's a ta there, so we know this word is feminine. Correct. As you answered هذه. Correct. مدرستك. Is it هذا أو هذه? Is it هذا مدرستك أو هذه مدرستك? Excellent. صديقك. Is it هذا صديقك أو هذه صديقك? Really excellent. How about طبيبتك? طبيبتك. Your female doctor, and you are speaking to a female as well. Correct. How about أختك? Here's a tricky one. أختك. Is it هذا أختك أو هذه أختك? So you are speaking to a male and to tell him, this is your sister. So you're pointing to the sister. So you have to say, as many of you are answering, you have to say هذه أختك. Excellent. أختك is an easy one. Is it هذا أختك أو هذه أختك? Correct. هذه أختك. طبيبك. طبيبك. So resist the urge to look at the ka or the ki at the end. Do not look at that. Look at the first word. Is that masculine? Then you say هذا. If it's feminine, you say هذه. Correct. Most of you got this right. Okay. طالبتك. طالبتك. طالبة. طالبة. Not طالب. طالبة. Correct. How about صديقتك? صديقتك. Excellent. How about طبيبك? طبيبك. Is that هذا أو هذه? Excellent. And how about the last one? مدرستك. Is it هذا أو هذه? مدرستك. Bismillah, mashallah, and that is correct. And I must say that bringing us to the end of the lesson, I must say, so far it has been I would say one of the best groups that we had so far. You guys have really been really well done. Excellent, mashallah. Okay, are there any questions related to today's lesson or in general? Must say really well done. And I want to encourage all of you to continue as you are carrying on. Inshallah, the future is very good. We will keep on revising the words that we learned, the concepts that we learned, and we'll build on from there, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. And I must say, so far, this seems to be a very strong class. Inshallah, things are looking very good for the future. So the class will end now. So the class is done. If you have any questions, you can ask them now. Less questions related to the lesson or general questions, inshallah. I'll be happy to take them. Jazakallahu khair, afwan to all those who are saying shukran. I hope everything is clear. If there's anything, anyone and any clarification on any particular things, you can ask, inshallah. So the next class will be on Tuesday, bi'idhnillah ta'ala, will be on Tuesday at the same time. Afwan. So I'll ask, is there any more exercises on this lesson? So I would say there aren't any more exercises, however, but I'll send the slide in the group without the answers, so then you can go through the same question. I don't think you would need any more. In fact, actually, the exercise that we did actually covers every possible scenario that we can, every possible question that we can get from the vocabulary that we covered. So we covered really from all angles. So you don't have to worry. The exercises is very suffice. Just go through them again and again and again. So go through them, answer them on your own, check your answers, repeat the process until you've mastered it. You should be okay. Someone else, we can explain the difference between the ka and the ki at the end of words. So basically, the ka and the ki means what we say in English as your. So your book, your pen, your name, your house. If we are speaking to a male, you want to say your, then we say ka. For example, ismuka, your name, or haluka, your condition. But if you're speaking to a female, then instead of ka, you say ki at the end. Ma ismuki, what is your name? Kaifa haluki, what is your condition? Right, so that is the difference between the ka and the ki. The ka is if we are speaking to a male, the ki if we are speaking to a female. Yes, Brother Shakil, that's correct. Yes, and I was asking questions. I hope no one asked questions because everyone understand. Okay, so the name of the book is called Al-Arabiyyatu Bayna Yadayk. It means Arabic between your hands. Someone asking, would it be possible to send the new words before the lesson? We could try, inshallah. So I could try that, inshallah. No promises, because I normally prepare the lessons sometimes on the day, right? So sometimes it's difficult sometimes it's not the lesson, the slides are not ready a day before. If I had it the day before, I would send it. So we will try, inshallah. Yes, the last exercise is very difficult. It's actually a very advanced exercise. So you have to revisit it again. Sometimes it takes time. You know, not sometimes, even myself, sometimes if I hear something or learn something new, explained, I find it sometimes challenging to grasp until I sit with it on my own and look at it and figure things out. So maybe perhaps that is your style of learning. So when I send the notes, have a look at it again and take your time to grasp it. So we'll be doing, someone asking, will we be doing scales or more vocabulary? So we won't be doing scales. Maybe in the verbs, you'll see some sort of scales later on. However, for now, it's just more vocabulary. Okay, someone saying that we learned the word mudarris to mean a teacher, but there's another word called muallim, right? That also means a teacher. So that will actually speak about perhaps in the next 2 lessons, right? So it's about synonyms. What is the difference between a mudarris and a muallim and a ustad, right? So they are all synonyms, they all means the same thing, but there is very, very, very tiny very detailed differences, right? So, for example, a ustad or a mudarris is a formal teacher, so someone that teaches in a formal setting in a school, and he teaches a specific subject. Where a muallim comes from the word ilm, knowledge, so it's a more broad. He can teach a variety of subjects and is a master in a broad field. Okay, jazakallahu khair. So I'm talking to a male about a female, I would say mudarrisatu ka. Yes, with a ka at the end. Yes, you just add a ka at the end. That's correct. Would it be possible to get a PDF version of the book? Yes, do message me. It's a very large file, so I wouldn't be able to send it in the group. But if you want the PDF copy of the book, most of the book is, you can't really use the information of the book, because the book is like, they'll give you a dialogue and they'll give you 30 pages of exercises, but the exercises in the book cannot all be applied in a classroom because it comes with a CD and so on. However, the exercises that I prepared for the class is enough, and it replaces all the exercises in the book. But if you want a book, you can message me and I'll send it to you perhaps via Telegram or on Google Drive or anything of that sort. But because it's about over 100 megabytes, so it's quite big, quite large. Okay, jazakallahu khair. Let me see, any questions in the... Okay, there's some questions we have here. Would it be possible... Okay, what is the response to Jazak? We'll answer that question. What word do we use when we refer to inanimate objects? This is a rock. So we'd also use, so in the Arabic language, masculine and feminine words don't only refer to people. So for example, an object can also be masculine. For example, the word qalamun. Qalamun is a masculine word, so it's a hadha qalamun. However, look at the word school. Madrasatun. We know the word madrasa. I go to madrasa. So madrasatun has a ta at the end, just like tabibatun. It has a ta at the end, so this is a feminine word. So we would say hadihi madrasatun. Hadha qalamun. This is a pen. Hadihi madrasatun. So you would use the same word hadha and hadihi for inanimate objects. Okay, we'll be learning more. Okay, answer that question. Okay, will we be learning more vocabulary or just grammar? So we'll be learning vocabulary. We'll be learning vocabulary, and grammar will be learning in book 2. However, we'll be indicating to some grammar in book 1. Will it be possible to share the new words before the lesson? Will answer that question. If you talk to a male and refer to a female, do you add the ta before the ka? Yes. Excellent question, and that the answer is yes. I've seen jazakumullahu instead of jazakallah. How does the meme in the former word differ in meaning? Jazakumullah is if you're speaking to a group, so it'd be plural. May Allah reward all of you. Whereas jazakallahu khairan, jazaka, may Allah reward you. Jazakallahu khairan, may Allah reward you. Jazakumullahu khairan, may Allah reward all of you. So if you're speaking to a group, so I would say to all of you, jazakumullahu khairan. Okay. Okay, if there isn't any other questions, we will then meet on Tuesday, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I hope to see all of you again. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh wa ma'a salama.